Ha! Kaua. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. My name is Chimoge. I also go by Moge. This is an emergency message. This is not a normal video. Look at my notes. There are stars. Let's go. Again, my name is Chimoge. In K-ROM. I understand most people do not give their names in that form. Let me not dwell on that. That is just a piece of metaphysical knowledge that most people do not have. My given name is Chimoge. My forename is Moge. My government name is Chimoge Chijoke Ibe. Another name for me based on the history of my lineage is Chimoge Chijoke Ibe Ngoko. The reason my government name, to keep it simple, is Ibe is because someone before me in my patrilineage cut off the Ngoko. Anyway, many of my relatives still use the name Ibe Ngoko to my knowledge, so I give that one for identification. And then I also use the name Nkworie, 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 to make music. Those are just ways to identify me. Other places you might have seen me, other than this network, again, I'm the founder and owner of Ozi Benguku, which this is a part of, is the Harvard Political Review. I was the managing editor, among other things, there while I was an undergraduate at Harvard. Just, way to identify myself. Anyway, let's quickly pray. Kabrinam Nogo Kainito. Just called in my ancestors, relatives who passed away, just said let's all grow. Anyway, let's get into it. So this is an emergency message. This is about my safety. I put out one yesterday. I'm putting out this one today under a different title just to emphasize a different aspect of it. But basically, I've been getting harassed once again by relatives of mine. Okay, let me just get into that. The first one I want to highlight is my younger sister, Amarachi Adanaibe. Again, I don't even like seeing her name because of what she's done. Her very idea causes me physical pain. That's the truth. But anyway, I live here in Atlanta, Georgia. I went to a Publix a couple days ago, as I usually do, to shop. And immediately she came in and began harassing me and would not go away for quite some time. And unfortunately, the staff at the Publix was slow to get her to go away. So that should not happen. I should not be harassed in the store. But anyway, based upon things she said in that interaction, the way it unfolded, it seems she'd been stalking me, which she'd done before, and also she'd be working in concert with other relatives who had hurt me in the past, in particular, my biological father. And again, I say that just to emphasize that, one, I don't think it's proper to call him my father. Yes, he provided genetic material for me to be born, but I regard him as a deadbeat dad. And again, the idea of deadbeat dad has to be expanded. Being near your child does not make you a father as a man. You actually have to be positive. But anyway, I'm just saying that to emphasize that, and then also to emphasize that the way he committed a crime against me and orchestrated it a couple years ago was so bad. There's nothing. But anyway, based on what she said, it seemed they're working together. So anyway, that's distressing. Then yesterday, unfortunately, my mother also followed me when I was coming back home from Publix. And based upon what I know of her dynamic with my father, again, I want to emphasize that woman is my mother. I give her a baseline level of respect, but that does not mean she's good enough for me to communicate, especially because, quite frankly, she behaves as a pawn in their schemes. Based on what I know of their dynamics, again, Anthony, my biological father, is, the orchestrator. She does what he says. And because I also saw Amarachi in the area around the same time, it seemed they're working together. Anyway, the encounter with my mom was not pleasant. I had to tell her for quite some time to stop following me and go away. Again, I just want to emphasize that Anthony and his collaborators, who I've mentioned before in other videos, in particular Peter eBay, who assaulted me in the hotel room. Again, it was a strange situation. Magnus eBay, who it seems pretty clear connected, again, his in-laws. These are his wife's relatives. A woman named Kalechi and her husband Paul. I don't even know their last names. Again, these men would be commonly called my uncles. I don't like that term. Quite frankly, it allows you to not be someone's father. Come in, just be uncle. Come in, sit there and drink beer, not do anything. But anyway, your brother's children are your sons. They should be. Anyway, but the point I'm making here is that those individuals, the way they work, they tend to use, I hate to say it, women and children to begin setup jobs. So people they believe that will fly under the radar, perhaps will attract unwanted attention to make initial contact, and they come and do something crazy. That, or they will try and attack you while one is around in the hopes that you do something that looks bad. Again, that's their tactic. So, again, and just for more on that encounter with my mother, she had a phone out. I'm not sure whether or not she recorded me. Again, take that for what you will. But anyway, the whole point is, because of how they behave, how they have behaved, I just not willing to be in contact with them right now. It's not safe. And I know a lot of people have weird stereotypes in their head about who can hurt who, and then stupid ideas about who you have to interact with no matter what. Throw all that away. Okay, where I come from, if your relatives are bad, after they pass away, they don't get buried. So take that for what you will. Anyway, and then also just use your common sense. Come on now. So anyway, the whole point is, I want these people to stop interacting with me, and they're not. So that's distressing. On top of that, I want to add that not a single one of my adult family members that I know, this is both those related to me patrilineally, those related to me matrilineally, and those related to me through the connections to those lineages, not a single one that I know has been good enough for me to interact with. So I'm not interacting with any family right now. I want to highlight some reasons why. 1, justification of abuse. 2, unreasonable denial of abuse. There's one person in particular who, when I told them what Amarachi did, sent me nasty text messages saying it couldn't have happened. And it's not possible for them to have known that because they weren't even present for these events. So, again, things like that mean we can't communicate. 3, slow communication during times of urgent need. Again, if I'm telling you that I'm in a desperate situation and you're taking, a long time to respond, that's not good. 4, unclear communication. 5, broken promises. Again, some people promised to send me money and did not. And then 6, just general overall sloppiness. So all of you, and again, I'm emphasizing adults, you really need to do better. These range from people who are just very sloppy to people who really, really need to be punished by the force of the universe severely. So anyway, do better. Now, how to help, and this is for anyone. First, if you see me in person and I'm being harassed, please intervene. Please intervene. Do so within the bounds of the law, but please intervene. If someone's harassing me, just, make sure that they cannot contact me to the best of your ability within the bounds of the law. Again, throw away any stereotypes of what you believe, a young black man can do to protect himself. This is not, a superhero movie. I can't just bring out my taekwondo moves and there'll be no consequences. If I brought out those moves, in many cases it could cause a legal quagmire. And quite frankly, no matter how bad someone is, I don't want to use, or I do not want to allow them to use my body in an effort to hurt themselves, okay? If I defend myself, I didn't hurt you. You used me to hurt yourself, but I don't want that to happen. Anyway, so yeah, please just help prevent that from happening. And second, patronize my business. And if you have a personal connection, otherwise donate. But the business is very good. to help me get the funds to deal with this. If I could get protection, say like a bodyguard or something, that would be great. Also, I need to talk to lawyers about a number of things that have happened related to this. And then one other thing I want to add, if you've wronged me, apologize, and apologize fully. It's been crazy how few people who've hurt me in this situation, both related and not, have not even apologized. No one is above apologizing. Anyway, thank you very much. Goodbye.